So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sorry for being late, and we just have to woke up from hotel to here, and it takes about 20 minutes. And we were kind of surprised at how big is your university. Like a Japanese university is not that big in Japan because land is very small. So, well, anyway, thank you very much for taking our lecture. And we are pretty much looking forward to having you guys enjoy our class. And I hope you learn a lot about the advertising industry, especially focused in Japan. Okay, so before beginning our lecture, let me explain about our structure of the lecture, what we are planning. So we are going to have 9 classes in next 3 days. But we have almost 90 minutes in one class. So, but it's going to be kind of boring to have 90 minutes speaking, only lectures, like we only talk and talk. It's going to be just make you sleep. So what we are planning is to have lectures about 40 minutes in every class. And then after, we're going to give you some assignment for the mini workshop. So hopefully you get involved into the work, and then instead of us making presentation, you make a presentation for us based on our assignment. And then let's have a presentation at the end. Also, we'll give you a feedback on that. But this is the first 6 classes. We are going to have that. And after next 3 classes in Friday, we give you a big presentation assignment. So in the group, you're going to work on the presentation and then make a group presentation and have a final presentation in Friday afternoon. And then we prepared some prize from Japan. We bring some prize for you guys. So hope some of your team going to acquire that in the end of the Friday. So let's begin the first class. So this is the agenda for first class. So we are going to have 7 agenda for first class. So in the beginning, let us introduce about ourselves first, and then in the second, we are going to explain about the summary of the global advertising industry. So we'll give you a quick overview about the global advertising situation of the global advertising industry. And then after that, we are going to focus more on the Japanese advertising industry afterwards. And then, since we are from Dentsu, we are going to a little bit explain about ourselves, our company called Dentsu. And then, again, we're going to explain more detail why Dentsu, we are kind of dominant player in Japan. So we will explain why we are dominant in the Japanese market. And then, at the end, we are going to explain about the disruptive changes that are happening in the advertising industry at the end. So we'll give you kind of a future view, what's going to happen in what is happening in the advertising industry globally. And then we'll give you a workshop assignment. So let's begin about the self-introduction first. So, Veronica have already introduced about ourselves, but let us introduce by ourselves more in detail. So let's start from Muto-san. So please, Muto-san.
日本語でプレゼンテーションさせていただきます。
Okay, please excuse me for speaking in Japanese to introduce himself. Well, I know most of you understand Japanese, but no. Yeah. Okay.
武藤真二と言います。
So my name is Shinji Muto. Call me Muto.
Yeah, Muto. Yeah.
Okay.
日本電通ではクリエイティブディレクター、広告の制作とか、CM の制作とかそういったことを主にやってます。
So he is the creative director. His role is creative director and making an advertisement, a campaign, and also production of the a TV commercial film.
主なクライアントとしては皆さんご存知とかどうか分かりませんけれども、ソニーとか資生堂とかシックスとかトヨタとかサントリーとかをやった経験があります。
So his main clients are Sony, Shiseido, Six, and Toyota. All you may know. those like a national Japanese client.
Yeah. 僕の主な仕事を紹介したいと思います。
Now he's going to explain about his like some of the some works from his career.
今年の3月に、やった、ソニーさんの仕事です。
So this is the work he has done in this March for Sony.
ソニーがまだ発売はしていないんですけれども、手につけるバンドを、作りました。このバンドは、体の動きに合わせて音楽とか音が奏でられるという、プロトタイプの製品です。
This is not actually in the store yet, but this is kind of prototype tool that a kind of wristband that it makes sounds following your motions, like a body motions.
Yeah. ロシアでも、ウェブサイトの記事に取り上げていただきました。
So he found like coincidentally found the article in the Russian magazine or maybe the website like this.
Movie ある。それでは、このキャンペーンの紹介した VTR があります。映像がありますのでそれをご覧ください。
Okay, and now he's going to show you the videos explaining about this case.
Since the dawn of humanity, sound and body movement
Sorry, watch
form
again.
the basis of expression. Sony has been exploring the synchronization of the two, using technology to expand the boundaries of physical expression. Motion Sonic Project. High-precision microphones detect the airflow produced by human motion, then interpret the intensity of these movements as sound. Combined with a 6-axis sensor, this wearable device is able to convert physical movements into a wide range of sounds. This device can now bring a new dimension to physical expression. Performances are accentuated by the sounds of sharp movements, the power of a muscle flexing, the beauty of a dancer's music box elegance. A student's game becomes a show. Baseball turned into a dramatic action comic. An air guitar was no longer an air guitar. This device especially made a big impact on dance. Dancers no longer dance to the music, but created music through their dance. This resulted in the creation of a new type of performance. Our videos of users turning their movements into sound have reached over 10 million and have gone viral on social networks. 97.3% of those who experienced this device had increased affinity towards the Sony brand. Our initiative to expand people's physical expression resulted in amazing possibilities.
.この事例は、ソニーさんがこのガジェットを開発するところから電通がサポートをして、その作ったものをいろんな実験をしながら映像化していって世の中にこう出していくというようなそういうプロジェクトです。
So this is actually a Sony product, but Dentsu involved in R&D process. So Muto-san is in team of the Sony's R&D team. And then supporting the development, so, and create those like movie films, and then spread to the all over the world through the internet.
あと続いては、日本の、プラモデルメーカーのタミヤさんも担当しています。
Next one is a client called Tamiya, which is like a model, like a toy model company, which is creating the car, like this like kind of car per model for the toy, kids toys.
その、プラモデルミニ四駆というプラモデルの、ブランドの映像を作ったりもしています。でもいいですね。
Okay, and he's making a kind of brand image videos for this brand.
皆さんご覧いただきたいんですけども、またちょっと 明日、明後日時間があったら、お見せしたいと思います。
He wants to show you today, but maybe we have another maybe we have another chance to show you later.
その他には、日本の沖縄という、島があるんですけれども、その島の、シニアの、合唱団、ロックンロールグループの、映像や、衣装、そういったディレクション、クリエイティブディレクションもしていたりします。
He's also in charge of the creative direction for the senior rock and roll band in Okinawa, which is in the South Island of Japan. So he does like a creative direction of their CD jacket and also the costume.
そんな感じで、やっています。またおいおい皆さんといろんな話ができればと思いますのでよろしくお願いします。
So those are some of the example of his works, and then he would love to explain about more of his work later in a workshop. I mean, sorry, in the lectures.
1個忘れてた。次のページですね。あ
forgot to tell you one more thing.
本とかも出版してまして、アイデアの、発想法の本とか、さっきご紹介した、ロックンロールグループ、おじいちゃんとおばあちゃんのロックンロールグループの本なども実は出版していたりします。
So he also publishes books like this, which is like for the book to train people for the ideation, and also he also writes a book about the rock and roll group that we just explained. So again, Muto-san's work is a little bit different from the regular agency, but this is kind of what we do as a Dentsu. We don't do just sell advertisement or making like a commercial film, but we produce those kind of a creative entertainment content to the world. I mean, to the society. But we're going to touch that more in lectures. Thank you very much. So this is Muto-san.
Thank you.
And let me introduce about myself. My name is Yosuke Murai. Please call me Yosuke. I have been working for Dentsu almost 13 years. And then I started working as a media planner in Dentsu. And then I changed my role to the copywriter. So when I was working as a copywriter, I worked with Muto-san to create various contents which is very similar to what he just explained. And then after that, I moved to the Global Business Center, which is in charge of the offices, Dentsu offices outside of Japanese market. So I'm now in charge of the strategy planning for those offices outside of Japan. But I used to work for those clients called Uniqlo, Sony Music, Toshiba, Disney Pictures. Those are the main clients I used to work with. And then you maybe also recognize that we have, this is kind of business card that we use in Dentsu. And then interestingly, we have 100 colors for the business card. So I chose orange, which expressed my color. And also here, Muto-san is using red. So Mironobu also using a different color, so you'll see that later. And then quickly instead of introducing myself by words like a lyric, I'm going to introduce myself by movie too. I made a self-introduction video 2 years ago, so I would like to show that. Thank you. By the way, this is my sign. Okay, so Mironobu is going to explain about yourself.
短めに。
どっちもいいよ。
Меня зовут Миронов Станислав. Я жил в Японии уже лет 10, работаю на этой фирме 2 года. Закончил университет в Японии и сейчас работаю, занимаюсь маркетингом. У меня клиенты... Не слышно? Извини.
Или там микрофон есть на столе?
Да, майк.
Он включен, его там много.
Клиенты рекламирую по Японии фирму КАО, это производитель японский химический и косметический производитель. Потом Samsung, знаете Samsung? Телефон Galaxy S8, который взорвался недавно в Америке. Потом рекламирую на Японии и в Англии автомобиль Alfa Romeo, это итальянский автомобиль, знаете такой? И потом еще Министерство иностранных дел Японии работает с Россией. Потом DNA, это фирма, которая производит игры. И фильм Дэдпул, знаете, Дэдпул и X-Men рекламировал в Японии. Работаю еще 2 года, конечно, еще молодой, приехал как ассистент. Так что я разговаривать не буду. Если будут вопросы, то мне пожалуйста.
Okay. So you recognize that Mironobu is using like a green tea color for his name business card. Okay, so now you understand ourselves. So let's move on to the lecture part. Please let us to explain about a brief summary of the global advertising industry. You may know already, but let's quickly review together. So first of all, I would like to kind of know, because we are here first time to visiting Russia, and I don't know what you think about the advertising agency. We would like to also know what is kind of your image of the advertising agency from your side. So please share your image of the advertising agency. Who is kind of brave to give a hand? Nobody? Nobody has no image? Like no image to the advertising agency? Yes?
Well, maybe it's a company where people are hurrying up always, and they always have deadlines.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I think that it's very difficult to work in such a company because you're always in stress, but it is very interesting to work in such a company. This is my image.
Let me translate. そのすごい忙しいイメージで基本的に常にストレスに追われててっていう。Actually, it's actually right. We are already stressed by the clients because we also have a deadline every time. So it's quite kind of tough environment to work. Yeah, but that's true. That's kind of same in Russia maybe as well. Yeah. Because we don't have any products or we don't have any services. We ourselves, like human, people, human resources is our kind of a product to the clients because idea is kind of our product for the clients. So any other image, like a good image?
No.
Do you have any friends or relatives that are working in advertising agency? Anybody? Yeah?
I got some friends.
You?
I got some friends that work in advertising.
Okay. What does he do?
She's director.
She's a director. Okay. Is she stressed out or is she enjoying her job?
She's very tough.
Okay. That's great. Well, since I believe that this is kind of a communication kind of class, I'm sure that since you are taking this class, you are interested in the advertising industry. Is anyone who is planning to work in advertising agency in the future? Okay. Good, great. Any other? Okay. Okay, well, I'll explain that we also, Dentsu has a group, advertising group here, and also as a Mironobu, you have a chance to work in Japan too, so please come to us if you want to, if you have interest. Okay, thank you for sharing. Let's see. This is a kind of graph that explains about the global advertising spending from 2015 to 2021, which is a forecast a little bit. But as you can see, it's kind of have a constant raise, about like a 5%. So in 2016, last year, we had 545 media spending. So this is only media spending that we have here, but about 544 billions of the US dollars are spent on the advertising, which is quite a lot of the budget, and it's kind of keep raising. So it's going to be reached 750 by the 2021. So this is kind of global trend. So it's still like a growing market. And this is a top 10 advertising market percent share of the global ad spend in the world. When you look at the 2016 and 2019, it's almost same. From the first to number 7, it's from like a US is always like a biggest market, and you recognize that the over to like a going back to here, about we have like a 550 billion media spends, and the US only US spends 200 of it. So US is kind of like a huge market for other advertisement. And the second is China. Well, this is like a very similar to GDP. So US is the number 1, and China is now the number 2 position in the world. So they are like a second biggest advertisement market. And then now Japan is number 3, and the UK, Germany, Brazil, and South Korea follows. And then France and Australia changed. And interestingly, from the number 10, Canada goes away, and then Indonesia came up. So this represents the like a population has a like a strong relation to the advertising market, of course, because it's strongly related to the GDP growth. So since Indonesia has a 200 million population, and it's growing, and it's still young generation growing. So that's why it's get into the number 10 as a 10 market in 2019. And also you can recognize the growth rate. Like China is growing way like twice of the American market, but surprisingly UK is also growing, and also Australia is still growing. So mature of the market is not related to advertising spend. It's still kind of growing in these developed countries as well. It's very strongly related to the digital advertisement, but I'm going to touch later. And give you a quick idea of the main players in the advertising market. Those are the global advertising agency ranking by revenue in 2016. Number 1 group is WPP. You may have heard of it before. And the second is Omnicom. And the third is Publicis, which is a French company. And the third is Interpublic Group, which is we call the IPG. This is an American company. And also we have like a Dentsu is placed in the 5th position. So we are like a number 5 group in the world. And then other agency follows, like Accenture, Havas, ADCS, and IBM, and Hakodo. Hakodo is a Japanese company as well. And then give you an idea of the global advertisers in 2015. So you may recognize these huge company like a P&G, Unilever, L'Oreal, and Volkswagen, and Comcast. These are the top 5 global clients. And surprisingly, like a P&G, Unilever, these are like a life a FMCG company. And they are like a world biggest advertising users, because they spread all over the world. Like even like a big market, China, India, as well. So winning those like a P&G or Unilever or even L'Oreal, is kind of the key ideas for the advertising group to expand their business. That's why like those players like WPP and Omnicom and Publicis, those groups, all of them have those clients in their client portfolio. So that was a summary of the global advertising industry. So you give like have a general idea of the global advertising. Now let me explain about the Japanese advertising industry. So again, I told you that like advertising market increase every year about 5%. But Japan is now kind of matured, and we have like a low growth rate. It's very related to again to the GDP. So as you can recognize, the total advertising spend, advertising expenditure is kind of stable or even kind of decreasing a little bit, slightly decreasing since 2007. And we have, well, in the world we had like a depression in the 2008. So we have also the effect from the crisis, and then it decreased to 95%, also an 88% in the year of 2008 and 2009. But it's now kind of getting recovered now. But again, it's still lower than the highest year, which was 2007. And then like other advertising over the GDP is kind of like a same as like a 1.3%, and then it's kind of decreasing, but it's up still 1.2%. So as you can recognize, like Japanese market is now kind of matured. It's not growing. But what interesting to know is that the inside, like components of the advertising spend is kind of changing. So this is a main advertising media's ad spend components in Japan. Yellow represents the SP, which is a sales promotion, and the blue represents the internet, and the green represents a television, and the darker green represents a radio. And yellow, light yellow represents magazine, and orange represents a newspaper. And you can recognize the like old medias, we call like a traditional medias, like newspapers, magazine, kind of shrinking. So the length is kind of getting small, like shorter and shorter. And the TV hasn't been not changed. They are the still largest media in Japan. And so this is a trend not only in Japan but all over the world. Internet is getting bigger and bigger in a dramatic speed. So you can see from the number there, TV is kind of getting like stable. So percent of growth is kind of getting to the positive side and negative side, about 1%. But internet is has a stable growth rate. So like even 2016 or 2007, we had like over more than 20% growth in internet. But it's getting lower and lower, but still have a 10% average 10% growth every year. So this is a kind of trend in Japan for the digital media component. And then this is advertising expenditure by industry in Japan. So again, you see that like in the global part, P&G and Unilever is the biggest company for the advertisement. Same as in Japan, like a cosmetic and toiletries are the number one advertising expenditure clients in Japan. And also the second is information and communication, which is like a cell phone and the internet. And the third is foodstuffs, and the fourth is transportation, and the fifth is beverage, and the sixth is distribution. So and so goes on. But as you can recognize, like a top 6 category occupies half of the advertising expenditures. So the kind of main strategy for Dentsu is to reach those like a high advertising expenditure clients to win the project, to expand our business revenues. So again, you will see This is a kind of trend in Japan. And then I found the interesting like a graph here. This is a top 10 industry in Russia. The first one is pharmaceutical companies, and the second is retail, and the third is cosmetics, which is interestingly third clients in Russia, and the fourth is transport, and the fifth is food. And the right side shows the Japanese industry. So it was kind of interesting to find out like Japan and Russia is quite different for the clients which is spending advertising expenditure. So I don't know why like a pharmaceutical has a strong like a position in Russia. Does anyone have an idea why they spend a lot of advertising expenditure compared to like cosmetics or hydrogen or even the retail? No idea? Oh, I don't have an answer, so if you have kind of a give a try or a suggestion, guess. Well, anyway, let's discuss that later. Sorry, forgot to translate that part. So this is kind of main Japanese industry by our clients. So in this was 2015, sorry. So still, surprisingly, Sony, it was first number one client. So Muto-san has a number one client as his client portfolio. And then Toyota, Nissan, and Aeon, Seven and I Holdings. And then these are the Japanese main clients. But interestingly, we recognize we have a lot of automobile clients in the list here. Even though, like again, cosmetic and toiletries and information and communications are the main advertisers. And then you see that the number 9, automobiles is placed as a number 9. But each like a client, because we do, as one company, like a Toyota or Nissan or Honda spends a lot of the advertisement cost on their products. So for one of the main strategy for Dentsu is to have a great relationship with these automobile companies. I'm going to explain that later, but it's interesting to have several automobile companies in one company in Japan because of there's an industry conflict. So I'm going to touch on that later. This is a kind of unique point of Japanese advertising industry. And this is a market share of the advertising industry in Japan. In Japan, again, we have almost 2,000 advertising agency in the market, but top 3 company, which are Dentsu and also Hakuhodo and ADK, occupies almost half of the market. And then Dentsu occupies a quarter of the market. So that's why I would like to touch upon on why we kind of dominate the market in Japan as a Dentsu. Because 25% of the market share is quite high, and it's kind of gigantic advertising agency in Japan. So now let me get into the detail about Dentsu itself. So let's explain about our building first. So this is our building called Dentsu Building, which is placed in the center of Tokyo. And the right side shows the Google map where our building is. So that's the Dentsu, and it's kind of 47 floors building. And then from first floor to 45th floor, it's all occupied by Dentsu. So about 7,000 people are working in this building. And then it's strictly controlled by the ID card again. So because we cannot get into another floor who's working for the different clients. That's why information like a firewall is strictly regulated in inside a building. So maybe it's for now we are working in a different department, and then we have different laws. So it's kind of easy to access Mironov or Muto-san when we have to talk. But like another creative director who is working in a different department has a hard time to reach Muto-san because like due to this category conflict. And then again, Dentsu is very close to the coast area, so, and then we are very close to Tsukiji market. So when we feel hungry, we go to there to eat the sushi and those kind of stuff. And then, as you may know, we're going to have an Olympic in 2020, and then there's an Olympic village very close to our building, and also there's some of the venues in like some of the sports is going to be held in the bottom part of the the map. So this is where we work. Now this is a kind of grants overview of the Dentsu. We founded in 1901, so we have almost 120 years history as a Dentsu, and we have like a 14.7 billion US dollars turnover in Japan. And then again, I just mentioned that we have 25% market share, and about 7,000 employees working in Japan for Dentsu. And then, as a global network, we have offices in more than 140 countries, and the number of clients in Japan is more than 5,000, which is quite a lot of clients. And we also work. We are not only working for the content, advertising, but also for the contents and the sports. So we have not only the advertising specialists, but we have also the sports and the content specialists inside our company, which is more than 200 people there. And we make a lot of investment in a original planning tool, because we have to measure like a media result and also the marketing tools that we use for the clients. So we invest like 20 million US dollars every year for those development for our original marketing tools. And and then we have like a special project that we may touch upon later, but we do like Olympics and also like a sports event like a World Cup, and also some of the like international summit. Those kind of like a special project, we have like more than 50 projects every time. Let's keep running. So this is a quite quick overview of Dentsu. And then we have like again more than 5,000 clients. You may recognize many of them. And so this is again the reason why we have more than like 5,000 agencies in one company as Dentsu. Because outside of Japan, this is kind of world standard that we have only one. Like advertising agency can have only one client in one industry. So usually, one agency holds like say like a Toyota from automobile industry, usually in the world. So when you have a Toyota as a client, you cannot handle other like automobile clients like a Honda or Nissan, because due to the information like a firewall again. But somehow Japanese advertising market grew in a very unique way, and then Dentsu was a kind of dominant player from a long time ago. So now we have, as a Dentsu has like a Toyota, Honda, and a Subaru, and also some of the other automobile industry in our client portfolio. But again, we are strictly have a strict firewall in our organization. That's why clients allow us to have to work with other those different clients in one category. That's why we make this kind of plenty of clients within one company. So this is the kind of uniqueness of Japanese market. And now Dentsu's focus area is digital and global. So I'm going to touch upon that later again in the lectures. But why? The reason why is that again, so this is kind of the net sales ratio of our business category, and then you easily recognize TV is kind of like a strong revenue stream for us in Japan. So more than about 40% of our revenue comes from TV, and then again. And then promotion and creative follows that. But you may recognize like a digital, which is listed here as an internet, still has a 66% of our revenue stream, which is quite very small. But when we look at the medium, focus on only in the medium part, TV occupies 70% of the media sales, and then digital comes to the second position, which occupies 10%. And again, I showed you in a previous slides, digital is the only category is increasing, and TV is kind of staying stable. So now that's why Dentsu is focusing more in digital. We have already a strong position in the TV. So, but we have to also have a same kind of position, strong position in the digital to keep our revenue growth. So this is kind of world trend as well. So advertising agency has to grow their revenue. They have to focus in digital. So this is kind of world trend. And then this shows, this is also expressed in world ranking, because this is a advertising agency ranking by revenue in 2011. So you recognize the top 5 is same, like a WPP, Omnicom, and Publicis, and IPG, and Dentsu are the same. But you see different names here for the number 6, Havas, Hakodo, Aegis, and MDC Partners, and ADS. So this is top 10 agencies in 2011, but I'll explain that later. But also, again, I said it Dentsu is focusing on the global side again, too. So Dentsu used to be the number 5 position in the 2011, but we had 4 times different from the WPP, and also the 3.5 times different in the Omnicom group, and also different other number 3 and number 4 agencies. But again, as I explained, that the Japanese market is now matured and have a low growth rate. So, but I explained in the first slide, world global advertising market is growing 5% average. So compared to Japan, outside of Japan is growing very high growth rate, South Africa. It's South America has a 20% growth rate, and even the European market, and also North America has almost 4 to 5% growth, and the Asian region has a 5%. So, as a Dentsu or a Japanese advertising agency to grow, we have to global to acquire the new market growth. So that's why Dentsu acquired a new company called Aegis, which is a UK company, UK advertising agency, and we bought that agency in 2013. So these are the 3 executives from our company. And then we now became a Dentsu and Aegis group, but we're still number 5 position at the current point. But our gap between the WPP or other big agency has getting kind of shorter now. So now it's kind of in the world advertising industry, it is called it's not big 4 era anymore. It's a big 5 era it is now, because including Dentsu now it's 5 big players in advertising market globally. So now our international revenue as a group is expanded to 55% from 15%. So now again, digital and global is the kind of keywords for the Dentsu. And then since Aegis Group joined our group, we have various agency from Dentsu in Russia as well. So these are the groups we have in Russia, mainly located in Moscow. So we have Kara, Visium. These are the media agencies, and also the Poster Scope, which is covering the OOH, out of home media, which is signs outside of billboards that you see outside of the campus. And also Dentsu and Icewa, AdWatch, Icewa. These are the creative agencies. And iProspect, these are digital iProspect, Amnet, AdClock. Those are also the digital agencies in Russia. So, well, as you some of the raise your hand that interested in working in advertising agency, hope you have to see those company as a candidate too. Well, of course, WPP and Omnicom, those agency has a lot of group agencies in Russia as well. But those are please remember, those are the Dentsu group. So. Okay, let's get into the first part, why Dentsu dominates the Japanese market. So, interestingly, as I mentioned, and also you recognize from our work, we don't do just advertisement. What I mean by advertisement is buying the advertisement space from the media, and then we make contents for the clients. And this is kind of normal advertising flow, but we also does the brand consulting, and also the sports, and also event, and also business consulting, and content development, and as Muto-san did, R&D support, and also we work on the digital as well. So the reason why we dominate the market share is that we offer integrated solutions with these various diversified services to cover those diversified areas. We have diversified talents from top universities in Japan. So I don't know, in Russia, maybe I don't know how popular the advertising industry is, but in Japan, advertising industry, advertising companies as popular as the financial sector or consultant firm in Japan. So we have a lot of new recruitment from the top university in Japan. So we have a lot of diversified talents covering those various areas. That's why we can provide a client's integrated solution, which includes those various services, not only advertising. That's why a lot of clients kind of comes to us and then sometimes they don't have a clear briefing. They don't even know what the problem is. So they maybe produce some new products like this, and then they have just come to us, and then they want to they will ask Dentsu to how are we going to sell that. We have a certain amount of budget, but please plan something to sell this product. So we do, in this case, we do some of consulting, starting from the consulting, and then we do advertising, and also the content development to sell. To support the client's sales. So again, there is a video that explains how Dentsu work. So let me show you that.
largest advertising company in the world. The Dentsu corporate philosophy, good innovation, is our objective for every button. Dentsu has always been client-centric and has successfully tackled every challenge. Since 1973, we have maintained our position as the world's top advertising agency.
Can you hear?
After acquiring Aegis Group plc in 2013, we established Dentsu Aegis Network Limited as our global headquarters in London. Worldwide, the Dentsu Group has 38,000 employees working in around 700 companies and serves more than 11,000 clients. As a pace-setting communications group in this digital age, we will continue to promote marketing convergence, responding and anticipating. We keep evolving. That's Dentsu. Our creatives work closely with our clients to build and effectively deliver their brand messages across multiple platforms. That's why we keep winning international awards, from Cannes Lions to Agency of the Year. To meet every diverse requirement, the technology that provides people with the knowledge they need will continue to advance. Dentsu will enrich more lives in more valuable ways. We have outstanding proprietary data analysis tools, and our expert advisors provide the best marketing ROI. We facilitate mobile communication with the original augmented reality apps and other unique lifestyle tools that we ourselves develop. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency is just one Dentsu Group partner on the path to an exciting new future. Sharing value with the world. Let our experience and expertise make your dreams come true.
So you see the building at the end of the film, that's a Dentsu building, and we can make letters on that. Sorry, we have only like 5 minutes left, so I'll kind of rush my lecture here. And also the reason why we have reason why we dominate the market is we have a strong ties with the various players, not only the clients, but also we have like a strong relationship with government organization, and also the sports federations, and also the international organization. So that's why we have like a different revenue stream with those players. And also we have since we have 120 years history, we have a lot of the revenues, and we have a purchasing power. With those money savings, we still have the purchasing power to the other agencies. So compared to the number 2 agency in Japan, which is Hakuhodo, we have more than 3 times of their purchasing power compared to the Hakuhodo. That's why we have power to invest to other contents. And also that's why we invest in the venture companies as well. So we are looking at the new technologies and for the future, because now technologies have a strong effect to the advertising industry's future. So we developed the venture capital, corporate venture capital called Dentsu Ventures, and they're making a lot of investment to the new technologies all over the world. And also Dentsu does everything as I mentioned, but also started from like we do not only requests from Dentsu clients, but we do a consulting. So we do find a problem and defines the problem for the clients. So we diagnose the client's problem and then do like a plan the solutions and then execute solutions for the clients. And then we also, of course, review the result and then make it to the another action afterwards. So we kind of do a DPDCA cycle in ourselves to win the clients, to maintain and also keep the good relationship with the clients. Okay, so finally, I'm going to explain about the disruptive changes that are happening in the advertising industry. So again, now I would like to three kind of disruptive changes that are happening in the advertising industry. One is digital, and the second is social issues, and also third is content and experience. So, well, you cannot see well, but you may heard about the digital advertising technology. So a lot of the digital advertising technology is getting into the market. So at the year of 2011, we had about 150 marketing technology companies, but now it expanded to 3,500 over companies in 2016, which is only in 5 years. So that's kind of crazy that like a lot of like technologies get into the digital advertising market. So that's why I mentioned like a digital and global is a second, like a two biggest pillar for the advertising agency now. So like digital marketing is getting more complex, more and more. So we have to follow and catch up to those technology with these companies as well. And then, as I just mentioned, year 2011, we had ranking here. The top 5 is still same, but the another 5, from 5 to 10, now in 2016, as you may recognize that the Accenture and the Alliance Data System and IBM, those are the all like IT consulting firm getting into the advertising industry now. And then they became like 6 and also 8 and 9 players in this market, which is quite surprising and also scary. And so that's a digital trend. And now touching the social problems. So again, all over the world, there's a lot of social problems, but the problem that the players who are working for the social problem has is always money. They don't have money. But of course, like Dentsu cannot donate the money to those organizations as a business. So what we do is instead of giving money, we give ideas to solve their problems. I'd like to kind of introduce the one case that the Dentsu group had in the Philippines. But since we don't have time, maybe I just skip this one. I'm sorry. And also touching the contents part. So Dentsu now is getting into the like a lot of involved in a content project. So like as I mentioned, like advertising is not enough anymore. People like consumers attracted more in experience. So that's why Dentsu have a lot of investment in contents and also the experience and also the entertainment. So I'll touch this part more in detail in the class tomorrow. And not only the content, as Muto-san involved, also we involved in R&D business development and also the investment itself. So you may recognize we support the service design of the Toyota cars and also the shop design for some of the camping brand in Japan. And also we the product which is a kabuki pack you may heard of before. So this is a kind of facial pack that has a kabuki paintings on it. So if you wear that, you can be a kabuki player immediately. And also I have a video, but for the Toyota project. But since I have only, it's exceeding time already. So if you have interest, I can show you in lunchtime. I want to see?
Yes, of course.
Okay. You want to even see the social case too?
Yes.
Okay, let's see then. Well, if you are hungry now and if you want to leave for lunch, please, okay, you feel free to go because this class is supposed to have till 11:40. So you may leave now if you want to. But if you want to keep watching and listen to our lectures, please stay. I'll do have another 10 minutes more then.
Philippine public schools.
So this is a case in Philippines.
Semakin berkembang ng mga libro, nag-uniform tuloy physically ang mga bata.
But while developed countries have solved this problem through tablets and e-readers, for these families, even the cheapest models cost more than their whole monthly income. In fact, the only gadgets most of them own are old analog mobile phones used mainly for texting. Then we realized, what if we could use these millions of old phones to create a new brand of textbook? Smart, the country's largest telecom, took its mission to make text light and easy further than ever. As we introduced Smart Text. Over 6 months, we collaborated with respected textbooks to condense official school texts from in-class lesson guides to homework exercises into 160 character pages. Smart then programmed these texts into the inbox of thousands of inactive surplus SIM cards, which were then repackaged into new Smart Text. We launched them in partner schools that needed it most, where the simple and in fact low-tech solution made a profound, sustainable impact. It turned even the oldest phones into a new kind of e-reader, and old SIM cards into a new brand of textbook. So less effort was spent carrying and storing books, and far more effort learning from them. And with petitions and pledges from more schools and education sector members, Smart Textbooks is going even further. With plans already underway for more subjects and grade levels, kids, so schools themselves can reproduce Smart Textbooks for free, and best of all, a rollout across the entire Philippines.
We would always like to be at the cutting edge of innovation, particularly relevant. I want to see how this thing moves forward.
Malalaw, bibigyan natin sila ng tablets, pero sa ngayon, dapat simulan natin. Ito ang pinaka-perfect na simulan. Proyekto na sa market.
Fulfilling Smart's mission to make every kind of text light and easy for all.
So it's actually solving two problems. So this company called Dentsu Haimi Saifu, they had a client as a Smart, which is a telecom company in Philippines, and then now people changing their old phone to the smartphones. So old phone is kind of destroying those dismissing these old phones, hurting the environment. So they thought this agency thought that we can utilize these old phones and then using these SIM card and then a memory card and then putting in a textbook contents inside of it and give it to the children for the school because in the Philippines the elementary school students has to carry those this much a textbook every time, and then they're hurting their bags. So that's why now agencies connecting social problem and the client's problem and then solving it with ideas. So this is a case we had in the Philippines of the social problem. And then go back to the Toyota R&D one.
Tokyo, a city where limited parking, ever-increasing parking costs, and strict regulations breed angst. Simply getting around town by car is no longer simple. So Toyota took a new approach to urban mobility. The ultra-compact, three-wheeled EV iRoad. Using the iRoad, we initiated the Open Road project to bring freedom back to urban driving. Tokyo has scores of small, unused spaces between buildings, under stairs, and at shop sides. These caught our attention. Landowners shared unused spaces, which we transformed into parking that ultimately evolved into a network. We had created a new kind of parking service. From our website, we offered Tokyo residents the opportunity to test the prototype vehicle and parking network. These people spirited about town in iRoads and enjoyed the convenience of parking in small spaces. The internet-connected iRoads were used as city driving sensors. With these, we gathered massive amounts of data to discover unused spaces to be converted into parking areas. With the iRoad driver's help, we were able to discover more and more spots for parking. After the service offered, the test pilot's monthly travel distance increased tenfold. When people who lived in Tokyo and other large cities saw these small parking spaces, the iRoad's popularity surged. These may be small, unused spaces, but when used together, they change the way people move. Small spaces for big change. Open Road Project.
So again, like this is kind of interesting part. Like Muto-san can explain more detail, but like Sony or Toyota, they have a lot of intelligent engineers. So they produce a lot of new products, which is high tech and high quality, but they don't know how to utilize it or how to kind of communicate to the society. So people don't know how to use it. So Toyota produced these small cars, but it's don't know how to utilize it because it's kind of small and people don't know how to, because it's small car, why we should buy that. But we give service ideas or communication ideas, how to kind of present the benefit of the product to the people in a good way with ideas. So in this case, we discuss with Toyota team and then give ideas, we can give people to mission to find a parking space in Tokyo and then utilize these services with car. So this makes started from the agency side. So again, this is not only advertising service, but we do service development, also the consulting with the client. Hope this gives you a little bit a change image of the advertising agency. Okay. So, and we were planned to have a workshop, but since we don't have enough time today, we'll skip that, and then we have different workshop in the second and also the third lecture. So thank you very much. And if you have a question, please ask us anytime. So thank you very much.